Show you how to do the infinity granny square baby blanket. First we cast on with the magic circle, and if you're not familiar with this, then you can look at my video how to do that. And then we do, once you have your circle, we do chain two. So that's going to be the beginning. This is going to count as a double crochet. And then we do 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then you're going to do 3 double crochet. We're going to do 4 groupings all together. Chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet. And when I'm working in the round, I almost always do a magic circle because it's just the easiest thing to do. You can always adjust the center that way. Chain 2, and then the last grouping of 3 double crochet. Chain 2, and pull it together, and then I want to show you how I slip stitch these together, because this chain, I like to make it go forward. We go through here, like the top in here, right through it. That's the back. And then slip stitch. And that way, this chain 2, to me, looks more like the double crochet. It kind of just blends right in with the other ones. I think sometimes when you're doing chains, they really look like chains. They don't look like double crochet, and I just really don't like that very much. Then what I did for this one, since this is a color changing yarn, and I'm not changing the colors myself, we're going to use one color of yarn. It's actually a color changing yarn, but it's one print of yarn. And so I'm not going to be changing the yarn every row. If you were changing it every row, you could just cut this off, weave it in, you would start a new one, you could just start it right in the circle, and you wouldn't have any problems with the way that it looks. What I like to do, since we're just continuing with the same yarn, is actually slip stitch back, and I'll show you how this works. Just slip stitch back 1, pull this yarn all the way through. It's going to look weird for a minute. Then chain 1, and this is just to get the yarn in the right position. Now we're going to do the 3 double crochets into this chain space, right into the chain space. So just do a double crochet like you normally would. Don't worry yet. I know it looks a little weird, a little different. Double crochet again, and the last double crochet. Okay, and then you would chain 2. Okay, so, and this one's a little loose right here, but it looks closer to, because you did double crochet, so instead of it being a chain, or one way that typically they do these is to chain on top, right on top of this prior chain, and then you've got this line going up, and especially if you're doing an infinity granny square, you can see the line all the way up. I don't like the way that that looks, so I like to do mine this way. If this was tighter right here, it would look a little better, but if you do it a few times, you'll get really good at it, I promise. And then, so I think this looks immensely better, and I think you'll be able to tell. Now, this one, we actually need to get 3 more in here, because these are the corners. So 3 double crochet, then we're going to chain 2. Okay, so that's a corner. And then we do 3 double crochet. And this is a really good one to practice with, because you'll find that you'll get much better if you do this over and over and over again, that your stitches will be more even. Okay, chain 2. And you can almost, after a while, do this without even looking at it, believe it or not. Okay, double crochet, do 3 double crochet. Chain 2, 3 double crochet. So I just want to show you at least 2 of the rounds. Chain 2, just because it's slightly different, because first you're doing the corners. 3 double crochet. And 1 more. Okay, you always chain 2 in between. And then we're going to join them back together. So we're going to go in through here. You do get two loops, or they're kind of crossed over loops. Basically, I'm putting it right into the center of the double crochet. And then slip stitch. And so I think that this winds up looking immensely better than the other methods, especially when you're doing an infinity granny square. If you're doing small ones, maybe it's not quite as much of a big deal, but I don't really like that line. So then we can go back, slip stitch 1 back, and it doesn't have to be tight. The whole purpose is just to get it back into this chain space. Then we're going to chain 1 and then 3 double crochet. And I think maybe because this yarn is on the thinner side, it's not a worsted weight, that's part of the reason you can just go ahead and do it this way, because you've really got a lot of bulk under there, but it still looks completely fine. Let's see. And it looks just like they're all double crochet. And you can't exactly really tell where you started. Okay, thank you.